Yo, what the fuck is up, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about flower versus concentrate, weed versus dabs. So, flower versus concentrate. I feel like this really comes down to, firstly, the type of way that you like to smoke and the feeling that you like to get from your bud, not only in the high, but in the feeling of the smoke in your lungs, the cough that it gives you. There's a lot of people out there, and I'm somebody that kind of enjoys it myself as well, the coughing aspect of smoking bud. There are times, and not just bud, smoking, concentrate as well. There are times where it definitely kills me so much that I just don't enjoy it. I really, really don't. But there are other times where you kind of just, honestly, I feel like over your smoking career, get used to it. And as you're coughing and you're feeling those effects immediately hit you and kind of skyrocket, it's an enjoyable thing as the years go by. I feel like you just become accustomed to it and you kind of expect it. But in general, the feeling of the smoke in your lungs is definitely different between some flower and some concentrate. I feel like the biggest thing that plays a role in that is the fact that concentrate is so dumbed down in the amount of material that you're smoking. When you're consuming some flower, there's a lot more stuff there that is in that smoke that you are breathing in. Flower or concentrate is a whole lot cleaner, typically. You can always get some terrible concentrate. You can always also get some terrible flower. But as long as you're smoking on some good, clean stuff, that is a big part to play in the difference between how it feels in your lungs. Now, the biggest thing that comes to play in the difference between flower and concentrate, and I'll go ahead and take another fat rip off my bowl. Cheers, everybody. It certainly has to do with the type of way that you like to smoke. Do you prefer hitting a dab out of the Puffco? Do you prefer hitting a dab out of the rig? Or would you rather smoke a joint, smoke a bowl, or take a fat-ass bong rip? For me personally, and most stoners, this is just a situation-based sort of thing. Most of us enjoy both. We don't tend to stick to one. There were a lot of times in my life where I would smoke just dabs for a couple months and just flower for a couple months, just because it was whatever, I was preferring at the time and I would rather pick up. But as of right now, I tend to differentiate between the two. I typically stick to flower, as flower is what I pick up most of when, I get some bud. Or when I re-up, but, I take dabs every now and then when I want to just get into that right headspace, usually late at night when I'm studying and I just am tired as fuck, but I need something to wake me up and get me right back into that, okay, I can finish, another 3 or 4 pages before bed. I'll take a fat-ass dab and it'll get me in that perfect headspace. But there are definitely a lot of people, like I mentioned before, that like to stick to one and kind of just stick to that for a long-ass time. There's even plenty of people out there who specifically stick to just certain strains, which is fucking wild. There was one guy, I think his name was Nicotee. I watched his Ganjier fucking interview. The Ganjier, if you guys have never heard of that, one of the best weed channels on YouTube, like without a doubt. It's an education-based program out in Los Angeles, I do believe. It might be in like another city in California, but it's somewhere out there. And they have a channel with a bunch of interviews with weed legends, like people who are huge in the weed scene that go way back, have insane fucking stories. Like smuggling fucking weed from Mexico through the border and shit like that. And it's all weed related, all super well-known weed legends that a lot of people might not have even heard of. I definitely went on a tangent about that, but holy fuck, man, like literally the best channel I've ever seen on YouTube when it comes to learning about weed, without a fucking doubt. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go and take another fat rip. But the last thing that it comes down to, truthfully, is the high. What type of high do you like to experience? And for most of us stoners, like I already mentioned in this video, it has to do with the situation. If you want to get super, super fucking baked off of a dab, just feel those effects immediately, straight skyrocket up. Or if you want a more calm sort of high, a high that has different sort of effects to it. I know with dabs, they definitely have different sort of effects, but the main thing with it is that you are getting fried as fuck super fast. But with weed, it's sort of like a cruise, and I can really differentiate between those effects more, whereas, a lot of the times with concentrate, it's like the same main effects over. I don't know. Like, I don't exactly know how to describe it. It's either like a straight I'm fucking wired head high, super sedated fucking high, or, you know, like a somewhat cruising sort of high. But, you know, it's just weird. Like with dabs, I don't really notice the same type of like straight heavy hitting effects between different strains, and maybe that's just me. Maybe I haven't tried enough fire concentrate. I definitely have tried my fair share, but I haven't dove super crazy deep into it. I'm not, you know, somebody living out in California or Colorado. We just don't have access to the top fucking, you know, concentrate in the world. But, you know, for me, it's always been weed as my go-to if I want to experience those real true effects. But yeah, cheers everybody. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. I hope everybody's high as fuck as always. Peace.